Hi babies, and welcome to Monday's episode. Now on this week's episode, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not coming to you with a sex tip. I am coming to you with female hygiene tips and tricks. And when I say female, I mean primarily vulva owners. Now, if you do have a penis, I'm sure lots of these tips will help you out as well. But primarily, I will be directing my focus to the vulvas, the beautiful vulvas, the queen vulvas that are tuning into this video. But first, before we get started, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Hi, I'm Pleasurebhabiee, or some may call me Miranda. Or just Miranda, I mean, whatever. So if you're tuning in for some new tips and tricks, please do not forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We are about to drop in and run through our top vulva hygiene tips. So first things first, I want to talk about my most important tip of them all, and that is underwear. Now, I'm very fortunate. Since I was a child, my mom always said, don't sleep with your underwear on, let your vagina breathe. And yeah, she said vagina because that is exactly what it is called. And we're trying to let the vulva as a whole, as well as the vagina, breathe properly throughout your sleep. Because think about it, throughout the day, she's all packed in underwear, in tight jeans, in yoga pants, being constricted and essentially suffocated. So going to sleep with no underwear on allows you to build confidence in your own vulva, as well as letting her get that time that she needs to just breathe. Now, if you don't feel comfortable right out of the gates, that's totally fine, but that's also part of the process, is building that confidence. So you can sleep in an oversized t-shirt, and if you are worried about maybe your parents walking into your room because they wake you up for school or whatever it might be, you can wear a loose pair of shorts. But you don't want to be wearing like a fitted athletic short or like a very small pair of underwear. You want to let her breathe. Now, this kind of brings me to my second tip, and that is what type of underwear you are wearing. So if you're suffocating your vulva all day long in those workout pants or in those tight jeans, and you're in that sexy, cute little thong or that cute pair of underwear, I'm just gonna show you a couple of different pairs that I have. This is one that I wore for a photo shoot, so I'm not walking around with this fur in my underwear, but you can definitely see that it is a silk material that is not breathable at all. So really cute for if you are in the mood, almost like a sexy lingerie, but not practical for your coochie. So out she goes. Next, I have the ones that I definitely am going to be recommending to you, and it is a full-blown cotton breathable underwear. So this is great because it doesn't hold bacteria and it dries like that. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, majority of the time I don't wear underwear, period. Yes, I do a lot more laundry than the average person, and I can't get 2 wears out of tights. Really, the only time I am wearing underwear is if I'm in a dress, maybe, and if I'm wearing jeans, because that doesn't feel so nice on the vulva when you're getting the chafes from the jeans. Am I right? But the main reason why you want to use a cotton underwear is because it doesn't trap in that bacteria. It allows your vagina and your vulva just to breathe. It will help kind of prevent the infections, and it might also help the amount of discharge that your body is producing to help keep your vagina clean. Now, I would like to see a show of hands who has experienced an ingrown hair. Almost everybody. Am I not right? They're painful, they're not aesthetically pleasing, and they always come at really unexpected times. But the main tip I'm going to give to you for those pesky ingrown hairs is this dry brush. So as you can see here, it's pretty porous. It has like a little bit of a grits to it, and it's really a God sent from heaven or hell, what I like to say, because it is going to lift off that dead skin because you're using it dry, and you're gonna see when you're using it, all this white is gonna come off and it's gonna be flakes of skin. But by removing that dead layer of skin allows the hair to actually come up. Now, I know it's so tempting to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until you can get it, but if you cannot see the hair, this is an awful idea, because what happens is the infection that is happening underneath the skin, if it's red and swollen and a little bit pussy, that is just gonna irritate and build up even more. So it's best to reduce the inflammation first. And you can honestly do that with holding like a little ice cube on there, putting maybe a little bit of polysporin on there. I like to try to dry it out first with something a little bit more natural. So I like to use a basic tea tree oil. This one is from Sage. It is 100% natural. Now, if you do have super sensitive skin, I definitely recommend using a carrier oil to cut this, or it can really irritate the skin. So you want to use either like a coconut oil, jojoba oil, a grapeseed oil, and mix a couple of drops with this, and then just keep it in a little dropper bottle so you can easily dab it onto the affected area. But one of the main causes of ingrown hairs is the fact that we are compacted in underwear, in jeans, in leggings, and everything is just so tightly bound around our vulva and very, very constricting to her, and there's chafing happening, so the hair actually can't grow properly and it is constantly being irritated. So that's kind of another one of my recommendations to you after you shave, after you sugar, or after you wax, is just to let her breathe. Don't put any underwear on for the next couple of days. And that paired with the dry brush, obviously you don't want to use this after your sugaring session right away. You want to wait a full 24 hours and then just do it before you get in the shower and get off that excess skin. The last thing I'd like to recommend for ingrown hairs is actually pimple patches. So you can put those directly on top of the ingrown hair and let the medicine kind of seep in and help kind of pull that hair to the surface. And then when you go to remove the patch, hopefully it pulls off that first layer of skin enough that you can get your tiny thin point tweezers and actually remove the hair itself. Next up, we're gonna primarily focus on different types of smells. Now, I wanna state that your vulva has a natural smell to her already. But if the pH balance changes, you will notice a more sour smell. You can even get a discharge change in color. It can be green, which means there's a sign of infection. It can be thick, cottage cheese-like. You wanna maintain you want to know your baseline for your healthy discharge and your healthy smell. If there is a peak in smell or a difference in color, it means it's time to go to your doctor and make sure you get a thorough pap smear and a nice solid check to make sure you don't have an overgrowth of candida or yeast infection, bacterial vaginosis, or anything like that. But something that has helped myself, I've read about it quite a bit actually, is taking a pre and probiotic. So this is also really good for your gut, your digestional health, as well as it's really good for your body, especially with the bacteria that is happening in your vagina. Now you have your good bacteria and you have your bad bacteria. Now your good bacteria is going to be in those billions and billions of pro and prebiotics to help bring you back to a really good base solid gut health. Now this is something that you would take every single day, just like a vitamin. So overall, it helps your smell, it helps your digestion, it helps your mood, it helps prevent you from getting infections, it helps your vagina clean itself better, so less discharge or a healthier amount of discharge. Honestly, just take the damn pre and probiotic. I know I'm not a doctor, but fuck, try it out. Make sure you get something with billions. Next up is going to be a saying that we've all heard before, and it is, you are what you eat. But in this case, it is, you smell like what you eat. Okay? So if you're out there crushing McDonald's, crushing Wendy's, Popeyes, whatever it might be every single day, anything with refined sugar, it's not good for your bacteria. And honestly, that spikes the increase of bad bacteria produced in your body. So you want to make sure you're eating a well-rounded nutrition plan to obviously keep your body functioning properly and to keep your vulva smelling nice and fresh. That also leads me to a myth I want to debunk right now, and it is something we've all heard before, and it's the more pineapple that you eat, the more sweeter your semen is going to taste. And that, my friends, is just not true. Obviously, your body isn't going to break that down and force through the pineapple if you just munch it right before you go for a hookup or a date. That's just not how it works. If you eat like trash, you're going to taste like trash and you're going to smell like trash. And that is just not good for you because you're going to feel like trash too. And we can't have that here. So we all know that there's studies that say if you eat clean, it improves your mood, improves your body's function and your way and the healthy way of life. So the same thing goes for your flavor, okay? Now something that is way too underlooked is your water consumption, okay? I drink anywhere between 2.5 liters to 3 liters of water a day, and I know that might sound crazy and really, really hard to swallow right now, but it helps your hair, it helps your skin, it helps your nails, it helps your body function. Water is the GOAT. Okay, it will help you in all aspects of your life. And I'm not saying it's gonna cure your shit, okay, but it definitely will help you. So I'm sitting here telling you, drink your water and eat healthy. You won't regret it. Now, what do you do if you are on the go and you need to just freshen up and do like a 1-2 vapor out and down and around, you know? Okay, so rule number 1 with wipes, feminine hygiene wipes, I always recommend something that is unscented just because there are a lot of sensitive vulvas out there, and if you change the pH balance or you add scent in the mixture, it can cause a spike in bad bacteria and your vagina can essentially just freak out, and there you go, you got a yeast infection or bacterial vaginosis. So what can we use to keep ourselves clean at midday? Maybe you don't have time to shower after a workout, or maybe you're gonna be running around, or maybe you just had a sweaty undercarriage type of day. So something that I always carry with me is baby wipes. These are the GOAT along with water. These save lives. Now, you want to be cleaning in and around your folds, but you don't want to be cleaning inside your vagina. Your vagina is naturally cleaning itself. So don't put anything in there unless it was something for like a yeast infection and recommended to you by your doctor. Recommended, prescribed to you by your doctor. Now for myself, because I am pretty athletic and I do work out and then I work right after, I don't just use these. I also bring another pair of underwear with me because you don't want to be sitting in wet underwear or a wet bathing suit for a prolonged amount of time. That is just cultural breeding center for bad bacteria. Now when you're at home and you're in the shower, skip the fruity wash, the coconut wash, the really, really coarse scrubbing salt scrubs on your yoni. She don't like that, okay? She wants something that's natural and pH balancing, and it doesn't even have to have a smell. So I'm gonna show you 2 things that I use. So the first one is this Canadian owned brand called I Love My Muff. Honestly, this stuff it's so good. It does have a little bit of a light smell, but it comes from an essential oil. You can get unscented as well. And I love it because it lasts months, like 6, 7, 8 months. You literally need a tiny dollop in your palm of your hand. You lather it and then you wash the folds, labia majora, labia minora, underneath the clitoral hood. Hell, I even wash my booty hole with it because, you know, they all share the same space. Now, if I don't have this handy with me, I will use something really, really basic like a CeraVe cleanser. Just because it's very neutral, the chances of it irritating you are very, very slim. And yeah, it's really good. So it's non-scented, it's good for sensitive skin. You can get other ones that aren't foaming, that are more of like a lotion. But once again, where is that thing? You don't wash inside of your vagina, okay? No washing inside your vagina, pH balancing, and it cleans itself. So nothing goes in, you are just cleaning the folds. The next one I'm gonna talk about is birth control. Now this is a really, really touchy subject for most, but I need to touch down on it because if we're not educated in it, then how can we know when we need help? So when you're taking birth control, obviously it's starting to adjust your hormone levels. That is its job so that you don't get pregnant. Now with birth control, like any other medication, there are some things that you should be aware of. You can actually get vaginal dryness. It can do an increase in acne. It can play with your mood, meaning it's not stable. We've all been there if you've tried birth control. It can cause your breasts to grow. You can gain weight, but there are some really good birth controls out there that can help you combat those things. But you can only help yourself if you are open with your doctor, telling them, hey, I'm scared of gaining weight. I have had weight gain problems my whole life. I need something that's not gonna mess with my hormones and make me pack that weight on. Or, hey, I've been bleeding for the whole month on this birth control. What can I do? I've spotted the whole month on this birth control. Whatever it might be, there's pills, there's dental dams that you can use instead, like the barrier method. You can use IUD, spermicidal lube. There are so many different alternatives that if the pill isn't made for you, that's fine, but your doctor can't help you unless you vocalize that. Hell, honestly, even some birth controls can mess with your pH balance and cause you to get infections. So if you are on birth control and you're chronically getting these infections, maybe it's time to talk to your doctor. Oh, I have one more thing that I want to add, okay? It is this little nightmare of a sponge. Now the only reason why I own this is because I got it for Christmas like 3 years ago and it sits underneath my sink because this is a nightmare, okay? This belongs in the heavens because hell is too good for this, okay? Out we go with the poof. You wanna know why? Because that is a bacteria breeder. It sits there, it's wet, it hangs there, you use it for your soap, it's covered in soap scum. It's not good, and it definitely doesn't belong anywhere near your vulva, okay? I've said my few things about vulva care now and how to properly navigate through your hygiene regime. But remember, these are all just recommendations and this video was made just to help. Please, by all means, if you have something to drop in the comments below, do so to help the other vulva owners out. Or hey, if you're a penis owner and you watch this, honestly, like all these tips can totally apply to you as well, onto keeping your nuts, your penis, your foreskin, or just your army helmet clean and nice and prepared. Now, if you tuned into this whole video, congratulations, you made it to the end. And if I did my job right, then let me know with a thumbs up and a subscribe button. And hey, I think I'm gonna start posting a little bit more on Instagram. So if you haven't done so already, please head over to Pleasurebhabiee with 2 E's and hit that follow button. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them to me in my DM, but I don't want unsolicited porn and I don't want unsolicited dick pics. Thank you. All right, take care, babies. I will see you next Monday.